that Nick was at, they had an entire crew.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I clicked on the wrong thing, Justin. Well, let's make it like less fancy. Boom. And I didn't do that very good. Okay. I think we're good. Okay. Well, Mr. Justin, good evening.
Hola.
How are you doing?
I'm good, man. Good.
All right.
Very good.
So welcome to Random Tuesdays with Dave and Justin, where you are a fly in the wall of two guys talking about whatever we want to talk about. That's for sure. So as you can see somewhere down there is a countdown where we have 30 minutes, literally, right? 30 minutes, we end. So jump on board to the conversation. If you want to comment about anything, please do. But most of the time, well, I don't know. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. When a comment comes in, we just sometimes ignore it because we just keep talking. But you never know.
It's like that band that's like, we take requests, we just don't take them seriously. You know,
That'd be good.
The same concept.
That'd be good. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Most of the time, there's a delay though, so it's like by the time
we get to it,
you know, that by the time we read it, we're 3 subjects later.
Absolutely,
yeah.
Or if not 6. Absolutely. Okay, so I have to know this, Justin, from the very beginning. What about that fly-eating plant thing? Is it working?
You mean this?
Oh, it does look like wicked awesome. Look at that thing. What is that thing called again?
Venus flytrap.
Venus flytrap. Now, have you seen
I
it
named
caught
it
anything?
Stubbs. Its name is Stubbs.
Well, it's so small. In all the movies, the Venus flytraps are these massive, like, things that can eat your head off.
Again, that's, you know, when's the last time you saw a movie about a tornado that didn't destroy half the earth? You know, I mean, that's just Hollywood's embellishment on the Venus flytrap.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
are
no,
they
this thing
that
grows.
Size?
It will grow.
It does grow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
you can repot every 2 to 3 years.
Oh, really?
Seriously, it came with instructions. My plant came with instructions. That's why it's a pet.
Did you actually see it kill a fly yet?
Not on its own.
Oh, did you feed it?
I may have day one. Well, I let it acclimate to its new surroundings. But you know, I took it for a walk. But then after that, all the things were open, and I was like, "Oh, you look hungry." And so I was just killing everything I could possibly find, and just a little toothpick, and just, you know, and then it
does it go fast, like really fast?
Yes.
Okay.
Very impressive.
Well, next time we have to actually get that on film. All right, we have to.
And that's the problem, is that it takes like 2 to 3 days for like each individual nipper to digest the flies.
Okay.
And I may have fed every single one of them already, like 2 days ago.
Now you say every single one of them? I mean, is there like one plant, or is it just like, I saw like there's lots of little attacking heads?
Yeah, it's one plant. It's one plant, but the plant itself has multiple snappy units on it. So each one of those taco,
are those snappy things sharp?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not saying you have to touch it.
They're like tacos of destruction, I guess is what. But yeah, each one of those little guys is its own unit.
Interesting. See, the problem is I wanted to get one, but I didn't want to spend $20. But I wanted to get one, but anything that's green that comes to the Whitmore house, it dies. I mean, Rachel and I, probably more Rachel than me, did an exceptional job of tomato growing until there's a storm. Then we're too lazy to go outside and like cover them. So I drowned my plants. So
I understand.
I can't be on the record for killing.
You can't overwater that though. That's the cool thing. You just put it in a little dish like I got it, and you just keep water in the dish, and it just soaks it up.
Oh, from the bottom up. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. So you don't have
Yep.
to. Okay, all right, cool. That's very
Yep.
nice. All right.
Pretty awesome.
So how was your week so far?
Week so far is good. It's been productive. Been one of those. Been one of those random things happening. Kind of things, which is cool. Ideas flowing. The salmon, Capistrano.
Does your company allow
Um,
you to have ideas and bring it to them?
yes, which is exciting. It's just very exciting. It is. It is a breath of fresh air for my soul.
Yeah, good,
Um,
good, good, good.
but
Because
yeah,
you are
yeah,
a
no,
creative person for sure.
well, stop. But it's cool because like sorry, I didn't see you were taking it. The cool thing
You
is that
made my tea come out my nose. That's the most painful thing ever.
sorry,
Oh my gosh. All
it
right.
could have been carbonated.
Oh,
You know,
oh my gosh. Have
that's
you
the
ever,
worst.
oh, I've had fun like that. Somebody's laughing and then I could not hold it. I did not want to spew it out here, so I just held it in and my laugh came out with like fire breathing dragons out of my
Yes.
nose and everything. And that hurts. Oh my gosh, that hurts so bad.
There was a time in I think we were in fourth grade. I can't remember, but sitting at the lunch table, Brandon Vogel, one of my childhood friends, still to this day, he's across the way. We're all cutting up about something, and I said something, but we were having sliced peaches that day as one of the
Sliced
little tray,
peaches.
one of the
Okay.
tray fillers, was sliced peaches, and no kidding, an entire peach came out of his nose, a slice.
Intentional? Like
Well, I
he
mean, like because of the same laugh,
oh, okay, gotcha.
and
No.
a slice of peach came out his nose, and it was cool because like we were all like, ha 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 ha, and like even him, like I mean, it was laughter, but then everybody was in shock. So like I just remember he was like, and then of course it
Oh
erupted
my
even
god.
more. So yeah, it was great.
Oh, that would be great. Now, so I
Cool,
would understand it because I've got a
cool thing.
huge nose, so my nostril is like three of my fingers can probably fit in my. Not really. I don't know, maybe one, but I could understand a peach coming out of
Try
my
that
nose.
again.
I'm not gonna put my fingers up my
Huh?
nose again because you'll probably like take a picture of it and like put it all over as this booger eating
No
man.
nose. You know what's funny is that we were actually Megan and I were discussing this whenever the pandemic first hit, and it was the whole like, hey, we may require masks and stuff like that. For me, I used to think of it as a curse, and I used to be like, darn you, Dad. There could be chemical warfare, and it would be me and somebody else, and there'd be one gas mask. I would just, I'm not a hero. It's not that I'm just giving it to him. It's that I don't need it. I have an excessive amount of nose hair. Filters out everything. Absolutely everything. I have a feeling down to the molecular level filters. And so, yeah, it'd be one of those, you take that mask. Don't need it. You know? And so, yeah, back in the
No
I've
wonder
buried
you've been like not
a lot of,
mask wearing or whatever. You walk in,
don't,
you
don't
should
need it.
walk into Walmart and the poor little person that's doing, they're getting paid to count as many people that walk into Walmart. They're just getting paid. So you're gonna, I dare you, I dare you to try this. Walk into Walmart, of course, have your mask in your pocket, and look at him. And if he looks at you and says, "Hey, you need a mask," just say, "Lots of nose hair, lots of nose hair." You can count them yourself.
Don't need it.
I dare you. I dare you
I
to
should
try that.
make I should make myself a card that says that and laminate it and just like put like whatever excessinosauria or something like that is my condition that I have. Be like, no, don't need
Oh,
to wear it.
in the world that we live in, I bet you could get away with that.
Oh yeah, yeah. HIPAA
Yeah,
laws they can't ask.
there you go. Oh, there's that's so funny. There's a shirt. So I wear t-shirts every second of my life. Um, and there's a website that you can get for $50 think it's 10 T-shirts, so pretty good deal. And they're just making a lot of the T-shirts just making fun of this whole virus thing, and it's just funny the T-shirts that are there. You should make a T-shirt like that.
It's not a bad plan.
Get Becca Matthews to go ahead and create you a graphic, and then we can make a lot of money off that. There you go.
Mask, face shield, excessive nose hair.
There you go. Absolutely, win-win all the way.
Actually, 100%. That reminds me of the joke. There's this little old lady, okay, and she gets pulled over, and the cop steps out and he goes, "Ma'am, I need to see your license, registration." She goes, "Well, I've got my registration right here, but I don't have my license." He goes, "Ma'am, you have to have a license." She goes, "Nope, I don't need it." He says, "What makes you think you're exempt from needing a license? It's the law. You have to have a license to drive." She goes, "Nope, I don't need one. Doctor said I don't need it." He said, "Man, could you explain to me why your doctor is telling you you are above the law and don't need a license?" She goes, "Yeah, no, I went to the eye doctor, and after doing a few tests, he said, 'Give me your license.' And I did. And he cut it up and he said, 'Well, you won't be needing this anymore. Don't need it.'"
Now that is good. I've never heard that one before, but that is good. Oh my gosh. Oh, crazy.
Quality.
So I was thinking this week. So we celebrated the life of Larry French, and I started to think and talk about plans of life, how God kind of works a little bit. There's this weird thing in the church world about cycles. Do we talk about this? Like the cycle of life? Like, do we talk about this cycle? I just keep thinking about no.
I don't think so.
Okay, so this is I'm probably dead wrong, but I'll give it a try. I'm finding out in pastoral ministry or church life that it's like all at one time, one type of crisis. For example, like right now, there's this person that is in the hospital, this person has passed away, another person passed away, this person's passed away, hospital, surgery, and it's just like literally, right? Today I probably have 10 people that are either lost a loved one or whatever. And before that kind of just freaked me out. It's like, oh my gosh, everything's going crazy. But it's just like King Solomon says, there's nothing new under the sun. It's the same thing over and over and over again. So we're at Catalyst. We're in a health thing. And it's not bad. It's just like, it's just weird. Have you ever noticed that? It seems like the same thing, not just different things. The same thing hits you at the same time? Or maybe it's just me.
Yeah. And flip side of that too is I feel like the blessings part is it's kind of like, out in nature, how there's something that causes an issue is usually planted next to something that is the remedy. Okay. And I kind of feel like I think in my life there's always been some issue, but then the remedy, some darkness, but then the sunlight is right in tandem with it. And it's just being able to find it, or have it be apparent, I guess.
Yeah, that's interesting. But that's a very good point. I mean, think about all these herbal things that are out there that God's like, you know what? You're gonna have all this modern. I don't take herbal medicine. I'm like, I'm polluting my body with all this other chemical stuff. But but it's just like, think about it. You're right. It's like, right, the cure of cancer is probably out there somewhere in some plant in the middle of Cambodia or something like that. I mean, it's
next to the plant that causes cancer. Yeah, that's like the poison ivy. Poison ivy. There's I can't remember the name of it, but there's a plant that grows right next to, usually, alongside in natural environments, poison ivy, that basically is the cure of the poison ivy itch stuff. Yeah, It's
That's crazy.
fascinating.
Absolutely crazy.
Fascinating.
Absolutely crazy. It really is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what is the weirdest cycle of life that you've gone through? Just like been
The
hit
weirdest
with,
cycle.
yeah. So like my cycle right now is 10 people hospitalized or surgery or death or whatever. That's the current cycle. It's not weird to me. It's like, oh, okay, we're in the health cycle, so I just need to be ready to care, pray, and so on and so forth. People in health. Other cycles like are marital cycles. I mean, it hits, and then all of a sudden, this marriage is falling apart. This marriage is falling apart. This person's having an affair or whatever,
Mm,
and then there's a cycle of just good, just like peace, and there's like blessings, and like you said, just the blessings. So, what's the weirdest cycle that you think you've been through?
I think with Megan and I, it's probably home issues, like
Mm,
with the actual physical structure of our home. It's that. It's
yeah,
there's always something, and it's something followed by something, something, something,
yeah,
something,
correct,
something.
exactly,
You know,
exactly, exactly.
and it's one of those. Once the something kicks off, we're always like, oh great, we're in that season
Yeah.
of
I read
that.
Rachel always jokes. So sometimes, and once in a blue moon, somebody would just randomly bless our family with, "Here's an extra $100," and we're like, "Oh, what's $100 that's going to break? What's going to break around our house? What's
Uh
going to happen?"
huh. Yep.
But it's good because it probably happens that way. That literally, here's $500. And then literally that money is spent just like that. It's not a luxury thing. And I think that's part of God's plan. It's just like, hey, it's going to be okay. I got you. And I showed you early. And that's what, side notes, that's what bothers me of people when God blesses them ahead of time to prepare for something. And then they squander that money away. And then all of a sudden, here comes this big disaster or whatever. And they're like, we don't have the money. I'm like, well, you just had a tax return of 3 grand, and you just squandered that
Uh
away.
huh.
That makes sense. So it's just,
Yep.
or like
Yep.
this whatever check
Well,
that the
it's
government
that
gives.
pre-planning thing though. It's I think if more people had the mentality of like, yeah, you get the stimulus thing or whatever, which is make or break for a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely,
It's make or
100%,
break.
absolutely.
For other people, I mean, Megan and I, it's like, thank goodness we don't have to worry about, bills this month. That's that.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
I think instead, if people just acted like it wasn't there, you know,
Yeah, correct, correct. Man,
like,
that just got me thinking of a random. I don't think I'll do it, but so for the like 1.5 people that are listening, what if the government did do a stimulus, and I put it out there that says, if you are financially okay and you want to turn in your stimulus into benevolence fund for people that we can help, I don't know, that might work. we'll,
yeah,
prob- we'll probably get
it,
50 cents,
it
but
can't hurt, you
I
know.
don't know. I never talk about money, or never talk about money, so it's all good. So, what do you think? I mean, how do you think God works in plans? I mean, because it's like that's like bizarre. So,
Dude, the,
good.
this morning, whenever I was going into work, there's a song by a band called Coin is the name of the band.
Coin or
Coin,
corn?
as in flip a
Not
coin.
corn. Okay,
Yeah,
coin.
yeah, yeah. Standard spelling too, not Koin. But yeah, they've got this song that's just really good. It's called "Let It All Out," and I may have said something before about it, but the end of the song is just Jesus. It's not a Christian song. It's not a whatever. Yeah, it's a secular song. But at the end of the song, it just says, "Oh Jesus, if you're listening, if you have a plan, could you fill me in?"
Mm, mm,
And it's
mm.
like I can't count the number of times that like I've sat there and just said the same thing to it's like, dude, if you got a plan, could you at least show me anywhere on that map where I'm remotely at? you know, and you know,
That's the cool thing, Justin, is I don't think he's ever done it other than for me moving to Evansville. I just, how would you be if God did say, okay, Justin, you're going to marry Megan and you're going to live in this 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house. You're going to have this job. You're going to hate this job. You're going to love this job, but you're also going to, and where's the fun in that? You know what I'm saying?
none. There is none.
There's
It's
none.
it's again, it's the whole, you know, the would you want to know when you were gonna die? You know,
Correct.
no, I don't at all.
Correct.
I
Yeah.
don't want to have a clue. You know, that's part of the fun. But I think that again, though, too, that's just the whole faith thing. I mean, that's just what it is. Is just I have no clue. I'm just gonna keep. I think doing the right. I hope it's the right. That feels like the right.
Yeah.
I feel like you're,
absolutely.
you know. But I'm just. You got this. I know.
It's you got this, and then you wince.
Right? You do.
Yeah, I remember, like, seriously, for real. The wincing. So Rachel and I moved from Evansville, or from Florida, right next to Disney World, basically. Really well-paying job, large church and
Lakeland.
everything.
Was that right?
Yeah,
Lake,
Lakeland,
Lake.
right next to it, Lakeland, Winter Haven. Yeah. So, long story short, God's like, move to Evansville. And we're like, Rachel's like, not churches don't last in Evansville, and are you sure? I want to be close to my parents, but yeah, I know.
Try that one more time.
I know exactly. Let's put another earpiece in. But it was that wince. It was like, ooh, starting something from nothing. Ooh, Evansville. Ooh, okay. I don't know. Um,
Yep.
And then, I mean, just God's good. God's good. It's just like that wince is for sure. And I think he's used to our winces, but he's okay with them. He's like, hey, I think God kind of, he doesn't do this, but he's like, hey, angels, seraphim, and all the, hey, Gabriel, come over here, watch this. Justin, go do this. Watch his face. Watch his face.
Yeah, and he's like,
I know
there it is. There it is. Exactly. You guys see? I'll rewind it. Yeah, because I can do that.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
And I wouldn't change anything. I mean, because it's really cool. If so I'll just keep this short because God's plan is just pretty cool. If my biological mother would not have died, I would probably not have been able to have the funds, because it was really cool that long story short, I was able to get my mom's Social Security. And because of my mom's Social Security, I was able to go to Bible college. And because I went to Bible college, I was able to meet my wife. And out of all of that, she was from Evansville. And then, just all those intricate plans that if God would have said, you're going to be starting a church in Evansville. Say what? I mean, I love overseas and so on and so forth. It's just really doggone cool that if literally, one of those plans did not happen, Rachel and I would not be together. Catalyst Church potentially could not exist, and here the Random Tuesdays would not happen. And everybody's watching. It's like, man, I wish everything would have been all screwed up.
Dodged a bullet on that one, didn't we, gang? Yeah, that's the even throughout just the day-to-day everything, man. It's funny. Like you asked whenever you were doing the family interview thing with Megan and I, and I got, my question was, what would you want to be automatic?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Yep.
Yeah, like when one thing in your daily life that you wish was just automatic, and it's like I honestly can't think of anything, because it's like everything's a process. You got to go through the process of whatever anything is, whether it's, I think I said going to work, or drive to and from work.
You want to walk out of your front door into your office. Yeah.
But I don't. I the drive there, great. Somebody cuts you off. That's whatever. But I get to listen to music, and I get to prep myself up for the day and coming home. same deal, it's just there's processes,
Absolutely.
for everything, and everything's got its place and its purpose, and
Absolutely.
I wouldn't miss any of that.
Think if you were to tell so we're down to literally 5 minutes. If you were, so talk about the processes. If you were to tell your, let's just say, 20-year-old self, what would you tell them to do, not do? I mean,
the irony is, I wrote a song of basically kind of about that.
Yeah.
That is, everybody says it's like super depressing. For me, it's not super depressing. It's more of a, I'm okay with everything.
It's therapeutic for you?
Yeah, very much. Don't tell my other songs. It's my favorite one I've ever written. But it's one of those where like the chorus of it is, I don't mind, I guess, this so-called second best, but if along the road you see my old self, let him know. But the end is, I don't mind, I guess, the so-called second best, but if along the road you see my old self, just let him go. Because I'm not a rock star like I thought I was gonna be. I'm not this, I'm not that. But at the same time, what I am is happy.
Yeah.
So it's
that did not answer my question.
I would tell him nothing. I would tell my 20-year-old self nothing. I would say, nice to meet you. This is what you look like whenever you get a little bit older. If you keep doing what you're doing,
Oh,
and
by the way,
that's
hilarious, because Will Smith just came out with 2 movies that he sees his identical self, or he sees his son, or something like that.
Yeah.
It's really weird. Like 2 movies back to back that Will Smith kind of has that, where he meets his son that he didn't know, or then his future self. I mean, it's weird. And I don't know what I would.
Choice.
It is a really odd choice. Absolutely.
Choice.
Very much.
He gave his agent the same look that I give God with the plan thing. He was like, yeah, Will, we're going to have you in 2 movies that are back to back, kind of identical plots.
It was almost identical. I know, exactly.
Sure?
Yeah. He didn't have to act too much different in either one. He just had to be himself. So, yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, I don't know. What would I tell I would probably, I mean, I know this sounds super spiritual. 2 things I'd probably tell him is listen more in Bible college, because I had to relearn a lot of stuff in Bible that I did not pay attention in Bible college that I wish I would know now, so I could build now off of what I already knew.
But maybe you weren't meant to. Maybe you were meant to, Just saying.
I don't know. Here's the deal. I don't know if that is true or not, because the only way I passed so they actually had in Bible college, they had a Bible class. Everything else is whatever biblically around it. But in my Bible class, I would actually literally cheat in my memory verses. I would cheat literally. I'm sitting down at my desk, and if there's kids listening, this is not how you cheat, but this is how I cheated. Sit down, 3x5 cards, my memory verse. I would sit down, take my notes, and literally, it was just right between my legs. So if any professors would look, they'd be looking at my crotch. I'm like, I know what you're looking at, but I'm looking at my Bible verse. So
I'm up here.
I know.
Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely.
Keep your eyes up here. So I don't know if that's exactly true or not, but I do regret not being able to memorize the verses and learn as much, because they were great professors. Even though it's a legalistic type of school, great content. I would just wish I would have paid a little bit more attention. So that's probably what I would do. That, as well as just chill. With this church plant early, it's just like I stressed about so much stuff that now it's just like we're just being stupid.
Dave,
so, yeah.
Let me teach you the ways.
Teach me, Mr. Justin. What is that? Oh, Mr. Yoda.
I have a PhD in chill.
You do.
I'm just saying.
Oh, I need you. Okay, here's the deal. This is going to be our random talk for next week. We've got 30 seconds left. I'm going to send you a link, maybe afterwards, to the Enneagram test. Have you taken that yet? The personality test. Do you know what number you are?
Nope.
Okay. That's what I want to randomly talk about, because It's how you are chill. That's how God made you. How I am overly, what's the right word? I am overly not chill.
Anxious?
I'm actually not anxious at all. People think I'm anxious. I'm actually not anxious. I'm just
No, I
um
can be intense, obviously.
intense.
You know,
There we go. Absolutely. So
I
absolutely.
can, I can
Yeah, interesting. So why don't
be.
why
Anyway,
don't you retake that test and then let's randomly talk about how we can just personalities next week. That'd be pretty cool. That can be
what were
extremely
you, a
random.
13 and a half or something? So, what was it?
I was an 8. I am an 8, which we'll talk about that next week. So
Okay,
okay.
neat.
So we're down
On
to
it.
0-0-0. So all right. For if anybody's watching, I don't know. It looks like Mavis watched and Stephanie watched, Ryan watched, and Wayne Kincaid watched. So,
Go
so
team. The
we'll take
Fab
you guys.
Four. That's all you
I
need.
know exactly. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for Random Tuesday. That was quick, Justin. That was
That
really
was
quick.
a quicken.
That was
That was a
really
quick.
quick one. So,
Do that.
all right. So next week, I think
I'll
we'll
take a
randomly
test.
talk about that. So take the test.
Sounds good.
Rachel, send me the link to that test so I can send Justin.
And
Okay.
you're just
All
giving
right.
everybody homework right now. All right.
Well, I'm learning delegation. So, all right. With that, ladies and gentlemen, God bless. Have a great rest of your night. Join us for prayer time here at 7 p.m. All right. Thank you, Justin. All right. See you, buddy.
Adios.
All right. Bye.